All right, team, welcome to your strategy video. How am I going to put myself through this workout? Which version am I going to pick? All these options, right? We've got a chipper. I know it's just 14-minute AMRAP. For most of us, that is a question of, can I get to those last 20 reps? And that's a big can I. And if I can I do one or two of those chin over bar pull-ups or muscle-ups? All right. Everyone's opening with a big 60-calorie row. We want to row that at a pace where we can get off and start our toes to bar options. We don't want to go totally mad over here. It's a bit of a false dawn to go big on the rower at the start and then find we're absolutely blowing up and our grip is gone and our forearms are gone when we get our toes to bar. When we get to the toes to bar, okay, especially if we've got the capacity to do some big sets there, I think you can get lured into going bigger on the toes to bar. We saw some of the guys in the announcement do 25 unbroken reps. I think that's a silly thing to do. Something in that 3 to 10 rep strategy, depending on how capable you are at that toes to bar, is going to be really effective. Wall balls can be done in 10s. We get to our cleans. If you've got 10 kilo plates on the bar or bigger, we're going to be going singles from the start. If we've got smaller plates, we might need to hang on for a few reps at a time so we can put it down. All right. Some things I'm thinking about, right? This workout as RX, can I do some toes to bar, 1 or 2 at a time? Can I wall ball that 9 or 6 kilo ball to the top or middle line? Can I do a clean at 60 or 42.5 kilos? If so, it might be worth viewing this workout as a, hey, if I go slowly enough, I can do this RX and chip my way through a whole bunch of reps. All right, providing I've got a reliable ability to get 2 feet to touch that bar, and I can reliably hit that clean weight, and that wall ball weight is possible for me to do some reps with, hey, let's see how far we can get going RX if you want to. If you want to come in and get a great workout on, that scaled option going knee raises, a lighter wall ball, a lighter barbell is going to allow you to get more work done. I think when we're choosing which version of the workout we're going to do, let's ignore the last 20 reps. Let's ignore the 20 ring muscle ups. Let's ignore the 20 chin over bar pull ups. There's so much work before that point, 180 reps, just to get to that muscle up or pull up part, that it's not worth getting yourself in a twist over those last 20 reps when actually the first 180 reps are for most of us the bulk of the work there. And then if I do get to those last 20 reps, if I do get to those ring muscle ups or those chin over bar pull ups, maybe tonight's the night that we get our first one, or we PB the number of reps that we're going to do on that more difficult gymnastics movement. If you want to get a little bit sweaty, do something that's getting you moving a little bit more, that scaled option might well be the way to go. For those of you in the masters categories, it's all the same stuff, just the barbell's a little bit lighter, and we can adjust that barbell accordingly. So again, make that decision on which version you're going to do based on the gymnastics, and then we can choose the barbell weight accordingly. All right, team, the things you need to know for judging part of this strategy video. So number 1, on 3, 2, 1, go, this monitor needs to be on 0. All right, we can't have it set up with a countdown. We need to have it on 0, and we'll get those calories up and displaying. All right, from there, Rob needs to stay feet strapped in, hands on the handle until it reads 60. He can't put the handle down at 59 and wait for it to tick over. He's got to stay holding the handle. Once he hits that 60 mark, we're going to jump ourselves off. Things we're going to think about for our toes to bar. Rob's going to pop himself up, staying inside his lane so he doesn't... Did he just propose to me? Is that what this is? Things we're going to think about for these toes to bar. If we're going hanging knee raise, at the bottom, we want feet to become behind the plane of this bar. So from here, I can see his feet. And then when he pops his knees up, he's going to end up with his knees higher than his hips. He's gone higher than he needs to there, but that's all good. Put a few reps together, Rob. Boom. You might get this little kip going on. All right, you could do these strict, but you'll probably find you start to rock back and forwards anyway. So just lean into that and go back and forth. Do you want to come down a second? If we're going to go toes to bar, same rule with feet behind the bar, and then both feet need to touch the bar at the same time in between your hands. Hey, presto. It's not toes near bar, it's not one toe then the other, it's both feet. Yeah, none of that, thank you. Naughty. Both feet, touch the bar at the same time in between your hands. All right. When we get onto our wall ball, being in the way. All right, so whatever weight wall ball you're going for, whatever height wall ball you're going for, there's a few things that apply the same. At the bottom of his squat, Rob's hip crease, this thing here needs to be lower than his kneecap here, all right? Not at the same height, needs to be lower. If you're not sure, tell them to go lower. That's their problem, not yours. As he goes up to throw that wall ball, he needs to clear the line that he's aiming for. So men, we're aiming for that top line. Ladies will be aiming for that middle line. If the ball touches the line at any point, so on the way up and then goes higher, or on the way down, it touches the wall below the line, it's not a rep, all right? The only place it can touch the wall is higher than that line, and it must touch the wall higher than the line. When we get to the barbell, it's all over there. Obviously, you'll do your workout in a lane, whereas Rob likes to spread out, you know. Bottom of the rep, the plates touch the floor. Top of the rep, Rob needs to, A, stand up so his hips and his knees have come into line. His elbows are in front of his hands, and the bar is racked with his hands touching the barbell here. If he's going to touch and go these reps, he needs to make sure he touches the plates on the floor at the bottom. Don't be gentle with this. Make sure you hit the floor. You don't want to wave the bar. Yeah, see, none of that's super annoying. At the top of the rep, and can you just pause this rep on the way up? Yeah. Boom. Rob needs to make sure that he extends here and here before he pops the bar off the shoulder. If he's to throw that bar down quickly before he stood up, it'll end up looking like this. And that speed, that can be difficult to see, all right? You want just a smidge of a pause in that top position. We'll come over and finish chatting pull-ups and ring muscle-ups. In the top of Rob's pull-up, he's back in his lane now. It's important, right? Yeah, at the top of his pull-up, his chin needs to be higher than the bar. Boom. There are no rules about which way round you want to grip the bar. So if you want to spin your hands round, totally an option. He's even gone for a kip there. The only other rule we need to be aware of is at the bottom of the rep, you've got to have a straight arm. So Rob can't jump up, keep his arms bent, and then wriggle himself up to the top of the rep. He's got to get a straight arm at the bottom of that rep. So he's going to jump, gets to a straight arm, and then gets his chin over the bar. Same rules apply on the ring muscle up. Do you want to go back to that set? So when he jumps up onto that ring, he needs a straight arm. If you're going to false grip strict these, you're going to have to get a straight arm on the rings, potentially before you get your false grip on. But at some point, Rob's going to jump up and get a straight arm. If he goes straight into his swing, we know Rob's got a straight arm, that's all good. And then he gets to the top, and we're looking at the top for Rob's arms to go straight before he falls back out of that dip. Hey presto, he can now roll backwards, ready for that next rep. Just be a little bit careful. If you have got someone that can do a lot of reps, you can get to the point where you start to fall out before you've locked out. Can you do an early drop for us? All right, didn't lock that rep out, so it doesn't count as a ring muscle up, all right? He'd get the no rep there. Those are all the big things you need to keep an eye out for. Those are all the things that you need to make sure that you are doing to make sure your judge's life is easy. I can assure you that of the two people in this lane, the person with the lower heart rate knows what's going on, all right? So if your judge is trying to tell you the wall balls aren't deep enough, they're not deep enough. The last thing you need is one of us wandering over and going, yeah, you know those last 10 reps you did? No good. Start again, all right? So listen to your judge. They're there to help you. Otherwise, team, see you for Friday.